Transforming vanity. This one is very hard for human beings to understand. Most of us don't like to think of ourselves as vain. We think of vain as, something really someone really selfish, self-centered, who does things only for themselves. And yet vanity is actually probably one of the most subtle energies that there is, that undermines our life. And it takes some searching, in a way, for you to really contact your own vanity often. And what we're doing here is we're really looking into the human mind. The human mind sees things in terms of left and right, in terms of right and wrong, in terms of opinion, in terms of, black and white, male and female. And any time you take one of those sides, you've been caught by vanity. Even if you really believe you're right, you've been caught by vanity. And that doesn't mean to say that you can't have opinions and ideas and all of that stuff. Of course, we are human. And yet what we need to do is to discriminate, to be able to look at our own mind and to see, to be able to discriminate that if we get hooked, it's when we won't give up our position in some way. We won't, not so much give it up as we won't see it from the other side. So empathy becomes really important, because you need to be able to see the opposite side and to be able to look at another person who you perhaps don't understand why they are that way, and maybe you dislike them. And then really feel into that person and sense, or find out even, well, what is it? What is their reality like? And why are they so different from me? And how have they become like that? This is the art of discrimination, to be able to understand someone, to be able to kind of realize that your way is just one way. And there are so many countless other ways. And none of them are right or wrong, ultimately. Even the ones that seem really difficult or corrupt or whatever, they're not wrong either. They're just ways. And we all learn from the different ways that we move through life. So vanity is about separation. It's about seeing yourself separate from another. And the moment that you realize that's what you're doing, then that separation starts to dissolve, and then you become accepting of others, and you open to others. And then we start to see what's hidden in this impulse of vanity. And ultimately where it's moving towards is moving towards purity. And purity is of the heart. Purity can never really be mental, because the mind sees in left and right. But the heart knows through love. And the heart is the child inside us. The child's heart is pure. And we never lose our pure child's heart. Never. You may think you've lost it. You may have done terrible things. You may feel racked by guilt or shame or self-judgment or self-loathing. But still, behind all those clouds lies the sun of your pure, innocent child's heart. And that is what vanity is in the way of. Vanity conceals that heart because we get lost in the ways of the mind, in the beliefs and the structures and the opinions and the thoughts and the words of the mind. So the art of discrimination is to be able to move the mind to the side. This is why contemplation is a wonderful way, because contemplation is very discriminating, because it's a wonderful way of circumventing that whole minefield that we get caught in. We become an expert in one thing, or one area. And, that's tricky, because then we've closed off to other areas. And, the heart needs to stay open. If the heart stays open, then the mind will stay open. So think about these things, and think about yourself and your own journey in life. And maybe you'll come to realize that you are quite vain, and there's not really much you can do about it. This is the thing about vanity, is like, it's so subtle and sneaky. You can think you really pulled out the weeds, but that's just vanity again. It's like, oh, I'm pure, I'm clean, So in a way, particularly for those of us on a spiritual path, there's very little we can do about vanity. I often say vanity is like the stubborn lichens and mosses that grow on the rocks on the top of the mountains. So even when we've gone really, really high and pure in our awareness and in our search, still up there, vanity is one of the last things to let go of us. And that is exactly what it is. It lets go of us. We can't let go of it. There's nothing you can do about vanity, because anything you try and do is vanity. See the subtlety of it? So you have to realize that you are helpless. Helpless. And once you realize that, then you can, keep ascending, and eventually vanity will let go of you, because you'll enter into the purity of your heart. And this is a thing you can apply to anything in life. Whatever problem you're facing, see the levels and the ways in which you're facing it. See how you're looking at it through your mind, and see if you can uncover that vanity that's only looking at it in one way. And this is the way it is, and this is the way I see it, and this is how it has to be. And you can keep that way, but you need to be able to see other ways. And you need to be able to, understand them to some degree, so that you're not just a victim of this only one view. Then you can begin to hold your own way less tightly. And then you begin to feel more freedom. And then you begin to feel that open heart again, coming open. Because the mind is the thing that closes the heart. The way we see life, the way we see ourselves, the way we see others, it's all vanity. And the moment we let go of that mind, and we see through its games and its ideas and opinions and views, then the more we feel true freedom, which is of the heart. It's of a different dimension entirely. And then that heart becomes the means by which we move through life. And the mind then moves in service of the heart, instead of being the leader and the heart struggling to run behind and keep up. And being the magic of the heart being lost. So consider these things, and consider your own pure heart that you can never lose touch with. And it's a great discipline to each day, perhaps when you wake up, tune into the purity of the little boy or the little girl and their dreams and their love in your heart that still beats. That purity. And then you can fan the flames of that heart, and it can become bigger and wider and more connective to all things, to all beings, and the vanity will just drop away on its own.